Stop pushing. Stop overextending. Stop going forward. Stop accelerating forward. Stop using your W key in order to give your agent momentum to move in the forward direction. Stop, stop, please stop, stop, stop. Nothing annoys me more than people who just don't know when to stop playing aggressively. It's probably the #1 thing that costs people rounds, and it's the most embarrassing way to lose rounds. The enemy starts spamming you with question marks, your teammates are yelling at you for dying, and you just feel bad. It just seems like people don't know when to stop going, and it's the most infuriating thing about Valorant. People are just trying to stat pack their leaderboard kills. I was told to make this video for this week, but to be honest, I'm making this video for my own elo's sake. Please stop throwing my elo away, you aggressive monkeys. And that's what we're going to talk about today. What is too aggressive in Valorant? When someone says getting too aggressive, the #1 thing that comes to my mind are people throwing away man advantages. And what do I mean by that? Well, it sounds pretty simple, but I see people throwing it away all the time in ranked. It's when your team is up something like 2 members and you have 2 to 3 teammates just run at them and then they die, and now you have to clutch the round for your team because your teammates decided to run at said enemies. For an example, let's take a look at this VoD that we recently reviewed for one of our subscribers. The round starts with Arena successfully taking the site, finding out where the enemies are at, getting traded, she gets rezzed, and the bomb is planted. As our hero makes it into A main, as you should because you want to keep some form of map control when you're playing post plant, you'll notice Raze and Brimstone starting to peek from heaven. But why? If any of you can give me one good reason why they're doing this, I'll PayPal you $5 grand. I'm not joking. The only reason they can give me is that they're just kill hungry and want to look good when they press tab and look at the leaderboard. So as you'd expect, both Brimstone and Raze get domed by the enemy Sage, giving her res and putting Reyna in the most stressful situation I've ever seen. Just watch this. How is she supposed to win this? She tries her hardest, but in the end, they just lose the round. Had her teammates just stayed on site and set up a stupid simple crossfire and didn't die to a sheriff, they go up 7-5 going into defense. Here's another example. The bomb is planted and it's a 4v4. This is looking pretty good if you're the attackers. The Raze and Reyna are playing a crossfire in Hell. All Killjoy and Brimstone have to do is swing off the Hell guy's contact. But instead, Brimstone sits there and slowly dies to an Odin through a wall. Don't know why he wouldn't move there. And Killjoy decides to swing through a smoke. Maybe Killjoy thought they were out because their Brimstone just died, but with some communication, or if she's watching the kill feed, she would know better. If she was smart, she would know to watch the Reyna and Raze on their minimap and notice when they're starting to take contact, and then that's when you would swing out of the smoke. Again, this may not look like a man advantage because it's a 4v4, but think about it. Ties always favor the T side. All you're doing is waiting for the bomb to blow up. And if people were to just stop throwing man advantages, people would win a lot more rounds. And when I see all of these cool clips, all of these aces and 4Ks and 3Ks, they're basically just made up of people who don't want to play together and people who are throwing away man advantages. Now, before we get into the rest of the guide, I just want to say that if you're looking for other guides, we have those as well as SkillCapped. Or if you want your VoD reviewed by one of us, we can do that too. We also have Smurf commentaries where Radiant level players talk you through their games and show you how to play in higher ranked games effectively. Or maybe if you wanted to learn how to run a default, learn a specific agent, or just how to get better, we have specific training courses tailored to all of those things. And not only that, but we have a rank improvement guarantee, so if you don't see a rank improving, you'll get your money back. But there's literally so much value here, I find it hard that you won't improve. If you're looking for the fastest way to climb in Valorant, be sure to check out SkillCapped.com, link in the description below. Alright, so one concept that people don't understand, but pros do so well, is the fact that you can fight with your teammates. Notice how this round, Reyna's team has the read that the enemy is all grouped up in B main. And this happens all the time in gold lobbies or lower ranked delos. People just sort of push into B main or A main, like as a 5 group, and then they just sit there. So everyone has the right idea and they start sandwiching them in B main. The only issue is that the Sage and Raze get a little too excited and try to get some shots off before everyone can rotate over. But if everyone had waited, the round becomes a lot more winnable. The enemy's getting pinched from tiles, they're getting pinched from their spawn, and they're getting pinched from B main. I get it, ecos are kind of hard to win, but if you can somehow funnel every gun into one area while all the enemies are still there, it's possible to win. So while you think you have a timing, just stop and look at your minimap. Don't be like the Sage and Raze, and just wait to fight with your teammates. Another thing that I can't stand is when people don't wait for my utility to clear out dangerous angles. Let's take a look at this round. Notice how Reyna's team just one pissed around, and the enemy team is probably going to try and place close angles to get some cheeky kills. Maybe with a shorty, or maybe get some nasty classic right clicks that shouldn't be in the game. It seems like Reyna's Raze understands this as she tries to clear out that close angle with her boombot, but our Reyna decides to run right in front of the boombot and die to a shorty. Had Reyna waited literally 5 more seconds, she doesn't die there and she saves her Spectre and is able to play with her team. But this happens in so many different situations. For example, I'm sure we've all been in a situation where your Killjoy has her ultimate, you guys come up with this wonderful plan to go in after the ultimate takes the site, but fear not. You have your fearless and non-calming duelist running in with 10 seconds left in the ultimate and then dies to somebody just holding an angle. Or even better, let's say you're playing Silva on Icebox and you're joining up A site, you're clearing angles one at a time, but you just see your Ray satching across site and dies to a guy behind maze. Don't you think it'd be a better idea to let the drone clear that guy out? Stop being aggressive and let your teammates' utility clear things out so you can keep playing the game. You like playing the game, right? Like it's fun? Well, let your teammates like Boombot and Drone die first before you do. So here's one of those rounds that I just talked about, where people run in way before the Killjoy ultimate goes off. So notice how the team takes A main with no issue, but Sage just runs it down as Killjoy is putting her ultimate down, and then when the ultimate is officially down, our Reyna runs into the spam of bullets and shock darts and mollies. See, now if everybody just played more patiently, the site is a ton more easy to take, and they probably get the bomb down without any issue. So next time you want to go kill a guy, just think about if it's really the right thing to do in that situation. Think about your teammate's utility and how it can help you get that kill. So I talked about it briefly before, but I'm sure you've seen those clips where people get these out-of-the-world aces and clutches. They could be down like 1 versus 5, but somehow manage to kill all 5 of them and win the round for their team. Well, guess what? If you don't want to end up like those 5 people who get killed, stop playing aggressively. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're playing on Haven and your Phoenix decides to flash out of garage and get 2 kills. And then he calls out that there's one more near grass. And then your Jet kills 2 guys on C long with an operator. That leaves 1 player left in grass. And you're playing on B side. What do you think you should do in that situation? A, run out in grass with your knife out, trying to kill the last guy because you don't have as many kills as your duo partner. B, disconnect from the game because you're tired and want to go to bed. Or C, play in an awkward angle that allows you to play for information without making you an easy target so you can play with your teammates and kill the guy much easier. Okay, so obviously the answer is C, but when you have a crazy advantage like a 5 versus 2, just play crossfires with your teammates and the round is literally impossible to lose. And then you won't end up on TikTok. Same thing when the bomb is down. Just play around the bomb, play a crossfire, and the enemy can't do anything about it. It is literally impossible to lose. Literally impossible. Alright, so by this point, you should have a pretty decent understanding of when you should stop playing aggressive. So let's look at some times where you should probably play more aggressive, right? Notice how in this post plant, the bomb is planted, but look at Brimstone's position. He's posted right outside the market door, and he's probably good for 1 kill before he gets traded off. But what Reyna and her teammates should do in this position is move over to stairs. This is so that when Brimstone does get traded, somebody can trade off that Brimstone. Like if somebody swings him from market, he kills the first guy, but the second guy kills Brimstone. But then if somebody's playing stairs, they kill that second guy, thus turning the 3v3 into now a 3v2, which is obviously much more winnable. This isn't an example of overextending, but it's instead of using your teammates as an extension of yourself. I'm a Sentinel main, and something that I think about when I play this game is I like to think about my teammates as a bunch of Killjoy turrets. How could I trade off of them? How can I swing off of them? And if you think that way, you're going to win a lot more rounds. Here's another round where Reyna could have been more aggressive. And notice how it's pissed around and our Sage is playing towards A main. Again, our hero Reyna decides to take cover behind Dice. But this really shouldn't be the move. Reyna should go play with her Sage and maybe try and take a few shots. Why not? Maybe she kills a guy. There's a chance she gets a kill or a few body shots. And because her Sage is there, she can wall Reyna off from any danger in case she whiffs. And then, after she falls back, she can play from tree, where she can play a better angle and try to spray people as they're coming onto site. What happens instead is that she stays by Dice, and she plays in a one and done. Yes, she gets 1 kill and she dismisses away, but there's really nowhere to go. This would be a better spot to play if you're somebody with like Cypher, who has cages they can rat in and out of, but as Reyna, you really want to be playing more aggressive and up with your teammates. It's kind of funny to think that after all this non-aggressive talk, this Reyna ends up being a little too non-aggressive. But this was all just one enough guide that we have on our website though. Also, if you want a chance at having your VoD reviewed, be sure to subscribe on our website at SkillCapped.com. We also have tons of Radiant Smurf commentaries where we have Radiant level players walk you through exactly how to play each situation and when to be aggressive and when not to be. They're also super helpful to see what happens in real time, what goes through a top tier player's head. As we mentioned before, it's also backed by a rank improvement guarantee, and the reason we do that is because we are just that confident that our service works. And if it doesn't work, then you shouldn't pay. So what are you waiting for? You've got nothing to lose. Head on over to SkillCapped.com and get started on your way to that rank that you deserve. I hope this video helped you guys understand what can be too aggressive and what isn't. Getting too aggressive can and will lose you a lot of rounds if you aren't careful. So please just think before you go and push somebody. I don't want you to end up on TikTok. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel down below. It really does help us out. And that's all for us. I'm Teets, and we here at SkillCapped want to thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.